Jackson Boone, your front row starters for tonight's Clyde Hart 100.
Taking a look at the points quickly, Sammy Smith leading super late model standings entering tonight. Smith's lead is 4 points over Brad May. And Derek Griffith, third in the standings, looking for yet another championship of the World Series. Justin Mondyke, fourth in points, and Jesse Love rounding out the top 5 in the standings. They've completed 2 of their 7 nights because they have 2 nights off during the course of the full 9-night schedule. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for this Clyde Hart Memorial 100 for the David Rogers Super Late Models. Front row features 7th fast qualifier and the young man driving car number 51, Jake Finch, and Jackson Boone. The 7B starts second. Row number 2 is the 15 of Gabe Summers and the 43 of Daniel Dye.
Of course, Daniel from right down the road in DeLand, Florida. He would be ecstatic to pick up a big win for him here at his home track. William Byron, Cup Series star, starting 5th in the 24 car. He's alongside Jesse Love. Quick time, Derek Griffith will start 7th tonight alongside last night's winner, Pinellas Park, Florida's Stephen Nasse in the 51N.
Row number 5 has the 22 of Sammy Smith. As the cars pick up the pace, they're not racing yet. They're just getting some heat in the tires before the start of the event. Justin Mondyke will start in the 10th spot, driving car number 44. Brad May, another one of the point contenders for the championship. The number 9 starts 11th, and starting 12th, the 27 of Bobby Good.
Ryan Preece making a super late model appearance in the number 6, his own race car. Good to see him here tonight alongside Stuart Friesen in the 1X. Caden Honeycutt in the Jet Motorsports number 9H will start 15th alongside 2-time Pro Late Model winner Michael Hyde in the 69.
Inside of the what would be 9th row will be the number 7 of Justin Kreider and the 93 of Austin Tom starting to his outside. Justin Droddy in car number 12 starts 19th. Starting 20th is Leland Honeymoon driving car number 77.
We'll see Leland in action tomorrow night in the ARCA Menards East race as well. Former ARCA Menards Series winner Joey Miller lining up in the 21st position. He will go alongside Steve Weaver. Brandon Short in the 7S alongside Patrick Thomas back in row number 12.
Taking a look at row number 13, we see they had the 26 car of Bubba Pollard scheduled to start. He did not make it to the track tonight with issues on that car. The 29 of Hunter Wright is in our starting field, starting in the 25th position. And the number 12 of Weaver rounding it out. He just drops to the back of the field, as does Patrick Thomas. A couple of drivers staying a little further back, don't want to be a part of anything if it does happen on the opening start, which is always a possibility with a big field of super late models. They've been aggressive the 2 nights we've seen them race this week, but they've kept it relatively clean, just aggressive.
Very aggressive last night, in particular between Stephen Nasse and Sammy Smith. Those two traded a lot of paint. Thankfully, both of those cars black, so you couldn't really tell exactly how much paint was traded, but they certainly did make contact several times. As we continue to circulate behind that New Smyrna Speedway pace car, we anticipate we'll be getting a 2 to go signal here shortly.
Wave lap for the fans in the stands. See the 51. Pole sitter Jake Finch. We'll see him behind the wheel of an ARCA Menards Series East car coming up at Five Flags Speedway.
Yep.
In the month of March 19th for that event at Five Flags for the ARCA Menards Series East, which we will see tomorrow night here at New Smyrna Speedway.
I understand that Jake's dad, James Finch, getting the band back together again. A lot of the guys that were instrumental in his ARCA team's success back in the early 1990s, kind of coming back together again. They're kind of reforming things, and we'll see how Jake is able to do as they're getting some equipment in place. And we look to see him make several starts in the ARCA Menards East throughout the rest of 2022. Adam, lights out on the pace car, man. We are half a lap away from it. This should be one of the highlight races of the weekend. Jake Finch, Jackson Boone up on the front row.
Coming to green, Finch on the bottom, Boone on the outside. 100 laps for the running of the Clyde Hart Memorial at New Smyrna Speedway for night number 4, and into turn 1, Finch takes the advantage.
Great start for Jake Finch. He's going to pull out to a 2-car length advantage down the backstretch. Jackson Boone slotting into second. Here comes Gabe Summers. First battle on the racetracks. Daniel Dye to the outside of William Byron in the 24.
Finch will lead lap number 1 of 100. The battle continues for the 4th spot, with Byron on the inside and Dye on the outside just to the right of the screen as we watch our top 3 separate. Single file formation, Finch leading the way into 3 and 4. Cars running right against the bottom lane. The lane may be a little different than last night because I believe the weepers, the wet spots on the racetrack, have gone away.
Might have been a little cool today, but that sunshine certainly helped dry out the grounds here at New Smyrna Speedway. Now we see Jesse Love digging to the inside of Daniel Dye. There's our quick timer. Derek Griffith to the inside of last night's winner, Stephen Nasse. Good battles throughout the top 10.
Single file top 4 now. The battle for 5th between Jesse Love on the inside, Daniel Dye on the outside lane. And then right behind him, the 12G of Griffith. And the 51 of Nasse, last night's winner. Griffith has yet to find victory lane over the first few nights of racing here at the track. Has had some strong runs, just not quite up there, racing for the lead. And now, after starting a little further back in the field, has his work cut out for him with the stout field of super late models. This 4-car battle continues.
Look how well Daniel Dye doing in that top lane. That outside groove really coming in nicely here early in the going. Stephen Nasse also using that outside line, not giving up any ground. These 2 cars still 2 rows deep, 4 back.
Dye just about to clear the Mobil 1 number 21 car of Jesse Love, but not quite. Love strong, middle of the corners, on the bottom, the momentum carrying the outside lane of Daniel Dye, back ahead of him at the line, as Dye held on to the 5th spot that time at the stripe. First 6 laps in the books, and the battles continue right for the number 5, 6, 7, and 8 positions. Mondyke looking on. He's had a couple good runs in the 44 this week.
Justin Mondyke now looking to the inside of Stephen Nasse. Looks like Derek Griffith is going to clear Nasse and now try to put some pressure on Daniel Dye as these cars now finally 7 laps into the race start to string out single file. Mondyke still working hard to the inside of Stephen Nasse through turn 4 there.
Saw the 29 of Hunter Wright take his car to pit road. Looks like his event may be coming to an early end. Also a competitor with the pro late model class here at the track. The 51 of Nasse running the outside lane. Good run middle of the backstretch. And here comes the 12 of Griffith up ahead. Griffith's going to pick up a spot. And you can move Derek Griffith into 6th.
And Justin Mondyke picking up a spot as well. He's going to move up into the 8th position. Stephen Nasse back to 9th. And there's that battle we saw all night long last night for the win. Stephen Nasse now facing some pressure from Sammy Smith in the 22 car.
Sammy Smith right there. We saw Nasse late in the race last night, really working the wheel. He said he was over driving a little bit, but he was excited. He was in the lead with a chance to win, and it's been a little while for Stephen Nasse. He was pretty excited in victory lane, emotional to a point. As Daniel Dye and Justin Mondyke go at it. Daniel Dye running 7th, Mondyke in 8th.
Yeah, I think it's as Nasse has gained some experience and some years, I think he understands that it's not quite as easy as it looks when you're young and full of enthusiasm and energy. And yeah, the more you work for it, the more emotional you get when you get those victories. And he continues to work to the outside. Now, Sammy Smith looking to the inside, trying to take over that 9th spot.
Mondyke's picked up a position just ahead. Saw that moments ago. He moved up to 7th. Daniel Dye has dropped to 8th. Upper left of the screen is 2nd and 3rd. Jackson Boone having his best starting position of the week and running strong right now, trying to hold off Gabe Summers. Lower right features that battle between 2 of the best in last night's race, Stephen Nasse and Sammy Smith.
It's the best we have seen Jackson Boone and Gabe Summers run here so far this week at the World Series. Right now, Boone holding on to that 2nd position. Gabe Summers, a regular in the ARCA Midwest Tour, running really strongly in that 15 car in that 3rd position.
Nasse has dropped in line now. We'll have to fend off Brad May next. The winner opening night Friday was the 9 of Brad May. He follows Nasse. May running in the 11th spot as we watch 2nd and 3rd again. Jackson Boone starting to separate a bit from Gabe Summers, but I think the big story here is the 51 of Finch building up a pretty big lead at the front of the field over the first 15 laps.
He's checked out so much we can't even find him on the racetrack. Jake Finch driving off into the distance. Right now, a great battle on the racetrack. Jesse Love facing some serious heat right here from Derek Griffith. Griffith to the inside. Let's see if Justin Mondyke able to tag onto the back of that battle. No, looks like Love going to use that top side and hold on to that position down the back.
Derek Griffith's car looks really strong early on, working some traffic as well. Will peek to the inside, might get picked here a little bit as Weaver moves over to the bottom, drops in line, does Derek Griffith. The number 12 car looks really strong early on as we see again the battle heating up for second.
Gabe Summers starting to put some pressure on Jackson Boone right now. Maybe giving him a little love tap there heading off into turn 3 that time around as we see Derek Griffith and Jesse Love knocking fenders off of turn 4 right there.
Side by side for Griffith, running with the 21 of Love. Here's the 44 of Mondyke to the inside lane. Griffith moving up now into the 5th spot. Already up to 5th is Griffith. He's had a strong run in these early laps. Car looks good, much better than it did a night ago. Mondyke trying to continue his success from one night ago and move into 6th.
There you see on the upper left corner, Gabe Summers continuing to work Jackson Boone over in a battle for that second position. Looks like Summers has a little bit quicker race car, just can't quite get the power down. Let's see what happens here as he's able to pull alongside, side by side, down the backstretch into turn 3. That battle for second. Summers to the bottom. Jackson Boone to the top. Gives second to Gabe Summers. No, not so quick. Jackson Boone fighting hard on the top side. He doesn't want to give it up.
He's able to take it, though, does Summers. Summers finished second in the World Series Super Late Model points here a year ago, and showing that he's capable of doing just that by picking up the second position here from the 7 of Boone. Meanwhile, William Byron in the 24 car starting to close there on second and third.
Those two running side by side for a few laps allowed William Byron to close that gap ever so slightly. Now Byron closing in on Jackson Boone, trying to make it a race for that 3rd spot.
There he is, the 24 car. Had a good race car in last night's event, did William Byron, but he had to start toward the tail because of a qualifying issue. When he qualified, the car seemed to be bottoming out, and he couldn't really turn the car very well. Slowed his qualifying lap way down, and he was mired deep in the field at the start of a short 35-lap race. Tonight, not the case. Was very good in qualifying, made the invert, and William Byron currently running 4th on his way toward the front.
It's been a while since we've seen William Byron run a super late model, and good to see him back at it here tonight as he is all over Jackson Boone now. Going to look to the outside. That car handling very well here in the early going for William Byron.
Yeah, it's rare to see a car even attempt to pass and the outside once they're up to speed, nose to tail, unless the car in front of you is really off the pace. William Byron thought about it down in turns 3 and 4 last time, thinking about it again as he peeks to the outside of Jackson Boone.
William Byron driving a car prepared by Donnie Wilson, one of the best late model shoes, now kind of transitioning over into team ownership and driver development. Don't think William Byron needs a lot of driver development, but good to have somebody with that knowledge, that experience like Donnie Wilson calling the shots for you here this week.
Well, Donnie Wilson's team in 2021, arguably the best super late model teams in racing, picking up all of the major wins. Comes to the Winchester 400, the All-American 400, the Snowball Derby. They were threats in all of them and claimed a number of victories in the 2021 season. So Byron has a very good race car. He picks up the spot and put William Byron in the 3rd position, dropping to 4th, Jackson Boone.
Still a good run for Jackson Boone here in the early going as we now check in on this battle at the back, just outside of the top 5, I should say. Here's Jesse Love facing some pretty serious heat from Justin Mondyke in that 44. Sammy Smith kind of making up some ground here in the early going as well in that 22.